ẹ̀yin tẹ́ pa Kolade tẹ́ jẹ́ ó dàgbà oró lálẹ́ dá 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 ẹ̀yin tẹ́ pa Kolade tẹ́ jẹ́ ó dàgbà oró lálẹ́ dá.
The recent killing of Kolade Johnson, a 36-year-old father of one in Mangoro area of Lagos State by officers of the Special Anti-Cultism Squad, received widespread condemnation from the citizens to even the federal government. This brought to the fore the need for the urgent reform of the Nigerian police, pushed by advocacy groups across the country, to show their resolve that the issues of incessant arrests, brutality, and mindless killings of citizens by law enforcement over no clear evidence of crime is addressed. The ENDSARS Reform NG Group organized peaceful protests across the country. In Lagos, it was hosted at the popular Africa Shrine, which is the base of the renowned Afrobeat Anikulapo Kuti family. Femi Kuti speaks further on the issues around the ENDSARS protest.
I've been doing this for over 30 years of my career. But to just see a young boy watching football and being killed is heartbreaking. When you read what's going on in this country, you have to be very sad. When you see the way our teachers are being treated, you see how the medical sector of the country is. The president doesn't trust his life in the hands of any hospital in this country. That speaks volumes. And I keep saying, the president or the prime minister of any country in Europe or America cannot be seen. Donald Trump cannot be seen to go to England for the best treatment. That is the end of his presidency. The Queen of England cannot go to America for health care. My friend, President Macron, cannot go to London for treatment. It's unheard of. This should be this government's first agenda, to even do up one general hospital to international standard. And it should be a law by now that every government official cannot go for treatment or their family out of this country, no matter what is wrong with you. Because we are forced to use those facilities. As like, if we don't have good education for our children, that is the downfall of this country. So there must be affordable education. If the police are not treated properly, of course they will behave like tyrants on the streets. So we need people that truly love this country. We need a government that is ready to die for its people. We don't have enough food to put on the table of our children. People beg. I go out of, the minute I leave this place, everybody's begging me for money. How much money do they want? I perform free here. Where do they think I'm earning my living? People can't send their children and give their children a good education. And the police we are talking about, see, some of them are on the streets with slippers. The police are badly paid. How can somebody you are paying badly, how can he take care of you? So if we don't quickly change everything in this country to move righteously forward, positively for the development and future of our children, all of us are going to be in trouble. And we know it. Everybody knows this. But every time we all talk about it, somebody sells out. So I'm saying what my father has said for all his life. I'm saying what I've said for over 30 years of my career as well. And I hope this time we all listen to ourselves. Again, we are all to be blamed at one point or so. So we just need to come and say, look, we are not fighting anybody. And we are not fighting the police. We want the police to be, we want to love the police. Look, our soldiers are dying in the Northeast. These are young boys that are risking their lives. They are badly armed. We hear the stories that come out of Maiduguri. I've been there myself. I've seen, and many of you are probably not going to see the suffering in that area. You see a malnourished mother feeding a malnourished child. With all the, it cost, they told me at that time, it cost 2.5 million to do a borehole for 50,000 people. You want to tell me no Nigerian has 2.5 million to do borehole there? For people to drink just water. And we know the amount of money being stolen from the resources of this country. We know, we read it. So I'm just it was heartbreaking to read another story again on this poor boy who, ironically, was a fan of this club, of this shrine. He comes here, he comes to have a good time. So he's somebody that is known. I don't know him personally, but a lot of our customers have been mourning him. So it's touchy. So he could have been my son. My son drives a car. So one of my son has dreadlocks. So one day, a policeman will shoot him and say, because of his dreadlocks, you are a criminal. And he's not a criminal. He's a well-educated film photographer. Shoots videos for many of our biggest stars in this country. And because they don't like his look, they will shoot him one day. Or because the police is envious of him, they will kill him one day. And how many of us, how many children are we going to lose before we now say enough is enough? One life, one innocent life is too many. And then the president takes so long to defend. The president of this country should be in the forefront of this advocacy. He should not have even traveled to where he went. Because when you lose one citizen, you have lost a nation. That man could have been probably the guy who will cure cancer, or who will do the first African plane that will not crash. We don't know what his future held for him. It's a topic so important to the nation. Look how long it's taking them to deal with. Because their children are not in this country. Because they too don't need the health care of this country. If they were all forced, that all their children were forced to go to government schools, I mean the government schools that the poor people go to, you will see that the federal government schools will be the best schools in this country. If it was in the constitution that every politician or anybody serving public office must go to that general hospital or any general hospital for treatment, you will see how fast they will do the hospitals. And that is what we must demand, that when you are serving the people of this country, it must be in the constitution that you and your family must use all the facilities of this country. You are transport minister, you say climb Okada. Know how it is. See how we risk our life to climb Okada. Or you will give us good transportation service.
For Shegun Awosoyan, the way forward is for the passage and signing of the police reform bill.
Now, the most important thing that we need to know as a people in Nigeria is that without political will, nothing gets done. If you don't know what a mechanic is supposed to fix in your car, you just continue to pay for nothing, and then nothing will be done. So it is high time we begin to educate ourselves. It's high time we begin to engage ourselves. It's high time we begin to have this affirmative action, enough to have this common ground that will make everybody feel the pains of another and bring us together in unity to be able to address issues that are very critical to the future of this country. And the essence of what we're doing today is to rehash the things that we've been saying so far, is to tell the people, to engage the people and to carry them along enough to know how far we've come on this ENDSARS Reform Police NG advocacy. What exactly is it? Are we saying that we should end the police force or disband the police force? Of course not. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that we need the police. We're saying that we value the police. We're saying that we value the institution of policing. But we do not like impunity. We do not understand what is going on right now, where police officers are acting above the law, where they are creating their own laws as they move along, where they are beginning to see our youth as a threat to the nation, to the point where they kill them and nothing is happening. And that's when we put our foot down as of 3 years ago to begin to engage the authorities, engage the officers, and educate them how to better police Nigeria. And this is what this is about. Today, we have heard again, after we have toiled, after we have collaborated, after we have negotiated, after we have sat with different authorities and leaders of the police and government as it were, different arms of government, and we have reached a point where we were able to put a protocol in place that stops the bleeding, that stops the killings, that stops the abuse. Then over time, a new IG came in and repealed that protocol, thus giving us the consequences of today. The killings have resumed. This time it is not even SARS, because SARS has tamed itself. SARS have learnt its lessons. SARS has coordinated itself and its actions. But today, SARS have raised its heads. The Special Anti-Kidnapping Squad have began an operation. For the past 8 months now, or 1 year now, all they do is use Danfo to pick up our youth, regardless of, indiscriminately, in such a way that they just take you to the police, to their station at Bagada, and they extort you. And now they began shooting people. They began killing people. They began talking about stray bullets all over again. And we are not going to let it stand. It is not the storm will not hesitate from bringing down your building. It is you, the owner of the building, that will say you will not accept this. So this is how it is. We are standing our grounds. And we are happy to also say, or to let the Nigerians know that the National Assembly will be passing the bill, the Police Act bill, the Police Reform Bill, on Tuesday. Beautiful. And as at Tuesday, we will expect that when they transmit this to the presidency, it will be given an expedited action to the point where we will have this bill passed, to the fact that we have this bill, expedited and signed into law. Once it becomes law, any officer that looks at you and asks for your phone is a criminal.
Yes.
Any officer that arrests you because your mother-in-law committed an offense is a criminal.
Yes.
Any officer that detains you in police station for more than 24 hours without seeing your lawyer, without seeing your lawyer, without actually showing you a warrant that empowers him to arrest you is a criminal. Yes. We begin to report these cases and begin to take action to bring them to book. Criminal activities must not be found in palaces or in places where law and order should be found. The pillars of all civilization that you see is law and order and taxation. Look at our law and order. Is this a country? Can we say that this is a civilization? Can we lay claims that we have police force that has the interest of the people at heart? No. This is exactly why we're doing what we're doing, to let them know that we have had enough, and to let them know that there is no other person that will die based on police impunity ever again. Yes. And this is why we're here.
The unfortunate killing of Kolade Johnson by a police officer mirrors the challenge in the Nigerian society and the urgent need for a reform of the entire police architecture in the country. As a mark of respect to Kolade and other Nigerians who have been tortured, killed, and harassed by the force, it is time for all advocacy groups, well-meaning Nigerians, the government, and the National Assembly to work assiduously to ensure that impunity by security agencies are curtailed, to ensure the security of lives of citizens.